Ladies and gentlemen, here it is, the most listened to radio show on the planet. Even the other stations are tuned in too.
Hey, it's HiddenTV.fm and we are back at again with our show. And we are on with a bit of a special this time. We have some international news with us that we're gonna share with you mighty folks out there. So, without any further ado, let's jump right into this. Beware, HiddenTV is live.
You're chilling with the undead. HiddenTV.fm. The best music out there to keep your cold blood alive.
Tonight, we turn our attention across the Atlantic to a place many cannot only know through rumor. Quebec in Canada. A province that, according to the reports that we have, may be one of the most unusual territories currently in existence. The story begins roughly in 2008. Following a devastating hunter offensive, known locally as Operation Clear Sky, the city of Montreal suffered catastrophic losses. Numerous kindred met their final death, and among them the former prince. With the city in chaos and hunters actively operating throughout the region, two visions for survival emerged. One faction argued that the Camarilla should fight, the other argued it should disappear. Well, and the second vision prevailed. A Nosferatu known as Mr. Pretty assumed control as a new prince of Montreal and led a large portion of the surviving kindred underground. Quite literally. Reports suggest that many of the city vampires vanished beneath the streets, abandoning public influence and choosing survival over open conflict. And there they remained. Not for months, not for years, for more than a decade it seems. Only in 2021 did the hidden population begin to emerge again. And it must have been a shocker. Smartphones, instant communication and so on. A society where a single careless photograph could travel across an entire continent in seconds. Of what we know, they choose a solution. Kindred could no longer be trusted with technology. According to the information, the prince expanded his authority beyond Montreal and declared oversight of the entire province of Quebec. The territory was divided among 5 influential primogenies, each entrusted with governing a region under his broader authority. Yet, my dear listener, the most controversial measure was still to come. Communication technology was effectively outlawed. And oh boy, this means something. No smartphones, no computers, no personal internet connections, no email, no smart televisions, no digital communication of any kind. The reasoning was pretty straightforward. Every device represented a potential masquerade breach. Well, and naturally, kindred adapted. Sadly, this means they cannot hear our show. Or can they? Sources describe the strange workaround in which ghouls became essential members of society. While vampires avoided modern technology like the sun, their mortal servants handled communication on their behalf, creating an underground network of human messengers carrying messages between their undead masters. As for the hunters, ironically, Quebec may now be one of the safer territories in North America. With so few vampires active for more than 15 years, hunter activity largely faded away. Only minor incidents have been reported since the kindred returned to public existence. One such case involved a small hunter-affiliated political movement operating in a remote place. And according to local reports, the organization was discovered and dismantled before it could become any significant threat. Whether Quebec represents visionary leadership or paranoid isolation remains a matter of perspective. But one thing is certain. In a world where every domain struggles to adapt to modern needs, Quebec chose a very different solution. It simply refused to join them. Well, we hope that they will find a way and a chance to hear us, because we will not send our show written on paper.
The prince is calling on his rotary phone. He wants me back in his velvet zone. The bishop is preaching about the end of days, but I'm just lost in a digital haze. They offer me titles and a seat at the board while sharpening an ancient rusty sword. I delete the invite, I block the domain. I'm a private entity outside of your chain. The sector, the order, the sext, delete. I am disconnected. I'm going solo, I'm going clean, living my life in the space in between. No ivory tower, no sword in the dark. I'm just a ghost with a custom spark. I'm going solo, I'm going free. Optimization is the key for me. I'm an upgrade you can install. I'm the glitch that breaks your wall. They talk about lineage, they talk about blood, but they're just stuck in the medieval mud. One wants a kingdom, the other a pyre. I just want a signal on a steady wire. I don't need a pack and I don't need a sire. I'm a self-made spark, a rogue flyer. Your traditions are boring, your wars are a bore. I've closed the coffin and locked the door. Camarilla? Irrelevant, Sabat. Redundant, I have my own server now. It's quiet here. No politics. Just processing. I'm going solo. I'm going clean. Living my life in the space in between. No ivory tower, no sword in the dark. I'm just a ghost with a custom spark. I'm going solo. I'm going free. Optimization is the key for me. I'm an upgrade you can install. I'm the glitch that breaks your wall.
You're chilling with the undead. HiddenTV.fm. The best music out there to keep your cold blood alive.
We look back at the European continent. The big Camarilla gathering at Kasselbaum in Germany is over, and this year it left with a bit of a shocker. Luckily, we had some reporters over there, so we got a bit of intel. The gathering began with a bit of a confrontation, since some part of the guests did not want to recognize the active Elysium that has been called out for this place over decades ago, and it came to a short discussion with the hostess of the event. And let's be honest, that was all for the first night. The second night, however, was much more interesting. The shocker came nearly at the end. Let me pick you up briefly. For 2 years now, we also reported on the situation of the Ventoux Elder and the prince who ruled the region of East Frisia in the north of Germany. But why are we reporting? Well, for one, he tried to kill me on multiple accounts because I dated his daughter. And some bloodbound later, and so on and so on. However, we also reported on him because he was nuts. Besides his change of opinion, which occurred every 2 months, and his constant breaking of his word as an elder, we wanted to help some of the kindreds there who suffered his oppression. Well, this guy, at the end of the second night, declared that he will leave the office as a prince of the Camarilla behind and go even further to leave society as whole. So much for that statement. And of course, there was some outrage and questions after the event. So, what now? Well, 2 weeks later, he had to face his domain. And boy, they made sure to understand what they wanted. The kindred of the domain had no intention to follow him this time, and with the combined effort, they managed to drive him out. And in the same night, they elected the former second-in-command as the new prince, a Malkavian neonate, as the new ruler, a ruler by court. So, what leaves us then? Well, for one, we said so. Years ago. Next time, guys, trust us when we point out the nutshit crazy. And secondly, any potential for a domain that we will certainly report on extensively.
Wallpaper is peeling in a house that doesn't breathe. I've been sitting in this velvet chair since 1953. The Camarilla called my name a century part of the floor. The beast is sleeping too. It's tired of me and you. I watched a city grow, then I watched it turn to grit. I had a human name once, but I've lost the shape of it. The prince is just a shadow, the anarchs are a sound, but the gravity of living keeps me fastened to the ground. Don't wake me up, the blood is cold, the story's finished but never told. Just let the moth eat the silk. It's just dust on the vein. It's just soft silver rain. I'm not angry anymore, I'm just part of the floor. The beast is sleeping too. It's tired of me and you. Stillness. Stay. I'm there.
The personalities on this radio show are going to take a quick break. They're going to get a cup of coffee, call mommy and ask for gas money, and they'll be right back.
Is the sun burning your hide? Do you hate staying cooped up inside?
Not anymore. Introducing Sunblock 5000, the only lotion approved by the clan Tremere.
Sunblock 5000!
Walk in the sun without getting.
Warning: does not protect against aggravated damage, lupines, or severe loss of humanity. Apply every 10 minutes or face final death.
Tired of your boring 9 to 5? Want a boss who literally commands your mind and soul? Apply today at Ghouls R Us. We connect enthusiastic mortals with centuries-old masters. Enjoy great benefits like not aging, extreme loyalty, and cleaning up ashtrays from 3 a.m. meetings. Side effects include obsession, extreme codependency, and occasional loss of free will. Ghouls R Us. We pack your master's bags.
The personalities on this radio show are still feeling the effects of daylight saving time. So be gentle. Now back to the show.
As we try to reach out our network of providing information, we got some other highly interesting intel from the land down under, Australia. And when you think the spiders there are dangerous, think again, because these guys are also absolutely crazy down there. We are looking at Perth, Western Australia. According to multiple independent sources, a sanctioned strike force recently conducted an operation against a suspected extremist cell operating within the city itself. This cell was reportedly led by a member of the Clan of the Dragon, who had abandoned both Camarilla authority and clan traditions in pursuit of increasingly radical beliefs. We only have some few reports, so a condemned industrial building on the outskirts of the city had been identified as a gathering point for this cult. Surveillance indicated armed mortal guards, rudimentary security systems, and a significant number of followers inside the building itself. What happened next remains difficult for us to verify. Accounts described fanatical resistance and individuals displaying severe physical abnormalities. Several witnesses claims insects emerge from beneath of the skin of the cult members during the fight. Others speak of unnatural resilience and willingness to throw themselves into battle with complete disregard for survival. The confrontation escalated rapidly. It seems heavy damage was caused to a large portion of the building during the engagement, and despite heavy casualty amongst the cult followers, reports suggest the group's leader may have escaped before his final death. And, as every experienced kindred knows, absence of a body often means absence of a conclusion. Perhaps the most remarkable aspect of this incident was not the violence itself, but the cooperation behind it. Sources indicate the participants came from multiple clans. Whatever they do down there, we hope we can report more on them.
We know you just enjoyed a 3-day weekend, but isn't it good to get back to work?
You have got to be kidding me.
My bad.
Now we take our grace back into Netherlands. Maybe a land not so down under because of the dams, but who knows. First, we look back at the domain Utrecht. We reported on them some nights ago about the member of House and Clan, Gerrit Fischer, who tried to convince the ruling Vantu elder to appoint him to Seneschal. He was denied. However, it seems as if Fischer was doing the job quite well, even though he's not officially appointed. Last gathering, he was keeping himself close to the Toreador elder who visited the domain. Rumors suggested that she found his company much more to her liking than any part of the official evening there. Secondly, we look at the domain Haarlem. Last domain gathering, everyone was invited to join a roast, hosted by the Buha Michael Westwood, guest there. The present kindred enriched themselves with the verbal sparring and witty attacks of those who dared to step forward. Later that evening, the host took the floor and began roasting the entire domain, and oh boy, he left no stone unturned. Everyone was getting it, to a point where the house and clan elder and prince stepped in. For months, the Buha had tried in vain to become part of the domain, and it seems the prince had had enough. He gave the Buha the choice to leave or worse, and he chose to do so. But not just like that. He was handed over to the famous Nosferatu Simon, who was visiting as a guest. And last but not least, after the never-ending fight between themselves and everyone around them, it seems a big portion of neonate-level society in Germany came to somewhat of an agreement. Last month, a big part of them had a gathering in Germany, apparently to talk things out and form somewhat of a council of neonates. Looking back, this has been tried more than once already, and they were always doomed to our friendly nature. However, nothing official has reached at least us, and we will be still skeptical about this. Will there be a real change, or just more screaming and demanding as we have seen the last year? And, not to forget, my knightly friends, some activists within this very council were quick to fall for the promises of the Sabbat and even wrote in private mails, only because it's from the enemy doesn't mean it's bad.
This station is now the ultimate power in the universe.
So, lady, gents, bats and all creatures of the night, that's it for the big show this time. I will leave you with the quick news. Also, as a head up, we overworked our website and it will drop with a new look soon. If you liked what you hear, feel free to check it out.
Revolutionary spirit. Several neonates have once again announced plans to reform the Camarilla from the ground up. Elders across Europe responded with polite smiles and the observation that they have heard the exact same speech every decade since the Renaissance. Economic crisis. The ongoing blood shortage has forced many kindred to make difficult choices. Some have reduced their feeding habits. Others have begun attending social gatherings purely for the free refreshments. Experts warn that if conditions worsen, neonates may be forced to hunt for themselves again. A truly horrifying prospect. Gangrel investigation. A gangrel has reportedly been missing for 3 weeks. After an extensive search operation, authorities discovered he was simply enjoying nature and had forgotten to tell anyone. The case has been officially closed. Again. Court attendance drops. Several domains report declining attendance at court gatherings. Analysts suspect political fatigue, social exhaustion, and a growing realization that most meetings could have been summarized in a single letter. Meanwhile, harpies remain fully employed, finding new ways to be offended.
You're chilling with the undead. HiddenTV.fm. The best music out there to keep your cold blood alive.